And you're on.
Not quite yet. This meeting is being live streamed. Got it. Okay.
That's always a good sign when it says that.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. We're good.
We'll take it. Okay, you guys, thanks for everybody being here tonight. That's here. Appreciate it. We'll have at least one or two more meetings before we get to Poolsville Day, the big day on Poolsville Day. But, up front and as we hit later on down this agenda, we'll be talking about our roles on Poolsville Day. So hopefully it's all hands on deck for everybody that's on the committee and that they plan on being there. And, it's not just about serving food or making sure everything works right. It's about schmoozing and yucking it up and really working these politicians. And I think we're going to have a big crew of people that are going to be there on this, probably the most politician-laden Poolsville Day I think we'll have. Update on debates. So I think you guys were just talking about that a minute ago, right? So
no, we weren't.
Dates, okay, the date's set aside. So it's let's see what happens with who can go. I know that Ed, you're reaching out or getting the contact information for Wes Moore.
Right. So I put some messages out. Then I'm going to go to an event and I'm going to talk to them this week.
Aruna is like a personal friend of mine from way back. So I guess there's no point in me not reaching out to her and just saying also too that you'll be reaching out for Wes and to the campaign in general. I mean, they're still campaigning.
Yes, definitely, very much so, and as they should. And so I texted with Wes and his wife, and I know they got a very busy schedule. I was texting with Arena as well, so she gave me the scheduler so we can get them the invite to the Poolsville Day. And then what we have is they have an event on Wednesday over at Friendship Heights. So I'm gonna pop over there, do the thing that we do, do what we do to promote Poolsville,
right,
and then support them and everything. So,
great. Okay, game plan. Well, we're gonna wait to hear back from you, but I know that Link's already reached out to the Republican side too. Yeah, actually, we reached out to the Republican side before the election, but we didn't get the right Republican side. So.
Oh.
Yeah, I had mentioned something to Kelly Schultz as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so nevertheless, I guess we should be able to get some progress on it within the next.
Well, the main thing
days.
is if we get Wes and Aruna or Aruna to commit, then we'll have then we'll reach out hard for the other side and see if we can get it going.
I think it'd be good for both candidates.
Well, I did too. I think we'll be the voice of the up county. I heard from a lot of. I heard a lot from a lot of candidates that attended forums, and they've always said that ours were very, very good, if not the best, and that some other ones were terrible, and they would never do them again. They had 4 people show up, but they claimed to have a big virtual audience. So we're in person. And as you guys know, and everybody knows, obviously the county executive race came down to the wire again. And I don't believe that there's been 2 consecutive elections with more votes cast with a smaller margin than these 2 elections have been. As it stands right now, what is like 130 votes total between the 2 elections. I mean, it's amazing.
Oh.
So, I mean, Blair's camp is definitely going to be asking for a recount, but my stepson works for the Blair campaign. And he was there for the entire process. Last time there was a recount, they gained 4 votes. It went from 81 vote margin to 77. So I'm, just have to see what happens here. But it's certainly looking like Mark Elrich is going to be reelected again. And to me, it's a good thing for Poolsville because he's already committed to doing, a lot of stuff for us. And so we're just going to be able to hold him to that as far as I'm concerned. So. Let's see what happens. Yeah. It's going to take it. They say it'll take another week. They have to bring in election officials from the rest of the state because there's not enough election officials in Montgomery County to do it. So we'll see what happens. Whites Ferry. If anybody knows what's going on Whites Ferry, you can tell us. Obviously not good right now and disappointing because we have a meeting scheduled. Link, I saw a link posted something. We have a meeting coming up on the 14th or something like that. But it's going to be to get an update from our DOT for what's happening with their negotiations with the Rockledge Farm people. Hard to say what's going to happen there. It's disappointing. It's been a total. I think once we get a county executive that maybe we'll have one defined, I think we'll be able to put a heavy press on them. But Mark has been very disappointing on this whole process, as far as I'm concerned. So he's the one that has to put the pressure on the various agencies to solve it. So we'll see what happens. But as of now, really, there's nothing going on. We're waiting for our DOT to tell us what steps they've taken.
Mhm.
Disappointing. Anybody have any questions on that, just besides the disappointment? Sorry, it's so noisy in my background, guys. There's a party going on behind us. So, the Poolsville High School construction budget update. So you guys know that we had, I think Link circulated this to everybody, that we had a meeting with Seth Adams. There were several people on the meeting. And what it comes down to is that depending on how the budget goes, thanks Kevin for moving that around. Depends on how the budget meeting goes, how the budget is progressing, that they'll either hopefully pay for the school out of the existing funds that have been allocated, or they're going to ask as you saw in our muster campaign and the wording for our muster campaign, we're going to need BOE approval to get the additional funds needed to turn the gym around and have it treat us right, have it be essentially a 3-court gym. So we're, Kevin, did you put the muster together already?
No, I got in touch with Muster. They just recently did another upgrade, and I have a call with them on Friday to go over the changes. And so then I'll post it on Friday.
Okay, very good. And then I'll promote it on all the regular places too.
Yeah, so it'll be Friday in the afternoon. I'll get it posted.
Okay. And just a FYI for everybody, I'm going to Alaska on Thursday morning, crack of dawn, a Viking cruise. So I'm fully anticipating, since I'll be in the United States, that I'll be able to work and have internet and everything like that. But we'll see what happens as we slide up the coast of Alaska over the next week and a half. And I'm back on Sunday, the 21st.
Okay.
But I'm still playing on Facebook, still planning on doing everything we need to do to promote whatever we need to do. So anyway, that's it for Seth on that. So we're waiting to hear that may well be a vote. The BOE may need to approve something, and we might be having to, hopefully our muster has some meaning to it and lets people know that we gotta, and we've heard from the BOE members, we've heard from council members that the muster has been very effective. Thanks again, Kevin. And it's been a great tool for us. So any other questions on the Poolsville High School? We did get a letter from former Commissioner Klobakowski basically demanding that we find out where they are on the budget, how things are going. Did they have any unexpected things, et cetera? But Wade answered all that for us. So sounds like he's running for commissioner. The community center update, we're said there, the POR, which is the county's program for determining the need and the value and what would be appropriate programming for any project that they build. That POR is still in progress. And there's and some of our groups have already been reached out to. Maria told us that she had spoken to somebody at the county. The county is reaching out to talk to our various groups, and we supplied a name of a lot of shareholders in the area for them to have conversations with, to help build the depth and the kind of well-roundedness of what that POR would look like. Good news is that still moving forward. The POR is still in place. We haven't had any backtracking on it. Pretty exciting. So what you'll do is, if you're involved in other groups besides us, Fair Access, and the groups you're associated with, they should be reached out to. And I'll tell you what we'll do is I'll get Link to send us the list that we sent out, so that if you know members of that group, you can send them that alert and let them know the county's going to be reaching out to them.
Are you going to use the same list that the planning commission used to get response?
It is. I think we had a couple more individuals on there versus just the groups, but essentially it's the same one.
All right, good.
And then responsive group. So a group, it's a group. So it's been tailored that, the people, we're hoping everybody does, just responds quickly, doesn't put it off, keeps the ball moving forward. So, talking about Poolsville Day breakfast. I mean, essentially we need to have everybody sign up for something and, plan on being there from crack of dawn. And I do mean crack of dawn through midday. So, that it's our biggest deal. Obviously, I know that you guys all know that it's a big deal, but we're going to have you saw the list that the Link put together, and it looks like we're all good to go with names, places, people, etc. Thanks for posting that.
Let's see, is there, I'll open up this document.
Yeah, thanks.
Mhm.
Actually, if you have that one's fine. So I don't think we've nailed down 100% the format for the day. But
Or do you want to open up the checklist?
Yeah, checklist. There you go. Thank you.
Okay.
So if you slide down the checklist, you'll see that that the day before, which is I hate to say it, I'm going to be the worst kind of leader, but I'm going to a wedding out of town that's on Friday night, and I'm going to come back Friday night like 3 a.m. So I'll be in great shape for Saturday morning. Probably, like I'll be I want to thank everybody. But anyway, so that's that. We got a good setup for before the event on the same day, and I mean in general. But we definitely need volunteers. And how about, Link laid this out, set up room for event, including projector, sound system, display boards, tables, banners. Well, what are we doing there, guys? Who's got something in mind for that?
So I don't know what I'll be doing with my Poolsville Day responsibilities versus fair access.
Well, Kevin, you're running Poolsville Day. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
End with you, dude. You got to make sure that turns out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Also, we have
about getting into school? Who's going to have the responsibility to be able to be there and the day ahead of time to do that? That's the key.
So I think Link and I will be there, Friday evening at 7 if they need to be there Friday night. Sometimes they don't need to be there the night before.
What do you mean? Are you talking about the projector sound system display? Is that what, are we relying on building services to supply all that?
Yes, we are. So
okay.
They have all that. It's just a matter of setting up, make sure everything works.
And they're all clued in on what our needs are going to be for the most part.
Yeah, they'll have a screen, a cart with the projector.
And then and we're
so Maria, you can.
Yep. So I was going to say, well, last year we had the media specialist for the elementary school was involved in making sure that the equipment was up and running the evening before.
Okay, good, critical.
So we can, yes. So, and I'm sure she would be more than happy to do that again. I'll connect with her.
Yeah, if you could do that, then I feel confident. Like if we can have a couple people there on Friday night and make sure that the media is all set, all that media is set up, then we should be in good shape, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, then we stick with the plan. And thank you for doing that. So Maria, are you going to be the person's going to be head manning that like that afternoon, that day with support from Link and Kevin?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Very good. Someone's going to contact the caterer. Who made the final cater arrangements? Kevin, was that you?
Yes.
Okay. Is it your connection or just somebody we work with?
No. So apparently this guy, I think he lives in town. Jeff Baker, spelled Geoff. It's called Simply Fresh.
Yeah, Simply Fresh. Okay. Yep.
I got the contact from my folks at Montgomery College, and we sent out bids to the previous people who provided quotes before, and they were the most responsive and
you mean they actually responded
in a timely manner and followed up, and they were really good. Well, so far.
And it's Jeff with a Geoff, right?
Yes.
Okay. Great. And do we know what his needs are? Is he just going to be, as long as he can be there at 6:45, he's good to go?
Correct.
That's an hour ahead of time before people start showing up.
They're bringing the tables and the linens. We're using the chairs that are at the school already.
Mhm.
He's bringing. He should have everything to go,
Okay,
ready
good.
to roll.
Are you gonna have a check-in with him, like a week prior, maybe?
Exactly. Yep.
Will they need the kitchen access?
No, I asked that before. He said no.
Okay.
But again, we'll follow up like the week before, check in. How you doing? What do you need? Are we still on track? We'll check in with our numbers, make sure because we're gonna have to confirm our numbers. I think we have a minimum of, I forget, off the top of my head, but yeah, we work on all that stuff like the week before.
Kevin's got his COVID brain fog in full gear. Good
I
job.
know, right?
Yeah, like, hello. I think we're gonna have a few people there, one or two,
Yeah.
100. All right, man, feel better. Thanks for fighting through it today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, but we'll have it all set.
Okay, good.
But I do want to ask. We have a link on our website, Poolsville Day website, for volunteers. Do we need to ask for volunteers on that site, or do you want to do our volunteers separately?
We could ask Jeff X group of volunteers and just say, we have to determine. I don't remember, and I wasn't privy to how many people we had last year that actually volunteered to help besides the committee.
It was just us committee and Laura's team.
Right, and Laura's guys too, right? Laura, you had one other person besides you there, I think, or two.
Yep, just one.
Okay.
And then
Do
an
we need
important.
more than that?
I think we were all set last year. We do need to talk about a photographer and videographer. That was kind of outstanding, and I didn't see that on any of
good call.
Link's communications.
Yeah,
So like,
good call.
so my colleague who's joining us tonight, Michael Gordon, he actually is a former television news personality. So he actually could help with videography. He's a pro. He actually worked for WDVM, so he knows the local terrain. And his father is the famous Chris Gordon, who just retired from before.
That's so
Yeah.
cool, man. Oh,
I saw
so he
DVM.
Your dad.
DVM changed their outlook. They're now called DC First.
Well, when I was there, they were WHAG, and now then there was WDVM, and they've moved farther away from Hagerstown and closer into DC to muscle in on the market. And
Yeah, they're doing no Hagerstown news now. It's all Montgomery County, DC, Fairfax County.
They've moved on. So I'll be ready with the camera in hand if need be, come the 16th and the 17th and all that. And I'm used to going around with the camera. I've probably interviewed half the people who will be there, like Aruna and them. So
were you with them recently as they were before this changeover?
I was with WHAG. Well, I know it was a long time ago because it was a long time ago that they were WHAG.
Yeah.
And then I went to and then I moved to a different TV station in El Paso Texas to cover the immigration beat. And then I've been around, and I just came back because I wanted to come back to Montgomery County.
Welcome back home.
Obviously my dad's here, so as you guys know, so
yeah,
right. And you sound just like him, by the way. You've probably been told that already.
Oh, that's very nice. When I was with WHAG, he was still working with NBC4. So every now and again, when there was a big Montgomery County story like the Mormon temple reopening up, he would be my competition. I'd show up there, and it would be him from his station, and then like Paul Wagner or Tom Fitzgerald from Fox 5, and like everyone from 7 and 9, and they would all like think, oh, it's happening. It's happening. They're in the same room. Like it's the they're to get someone get a photo, and that was cute the first 2 times.
I see Paul Wagner's on Channel 4 now.
He essentially, he went over and took my dad's spot when he was retired. So they needed another like guy from the days of Camelot to come over after my dad left, and they were like, well, Paul Wagner's still working, and so he left 5 to go to 4.
Yeah.
What is your old man up to these days?
I was gone. We did 18 holes at Needwood the other day.
Ha!
Nice.
Oh yeah, life is good.
Hey,
Yeah.
he's still got it. He's doing some. He's trying to play the guitar and you know, because he came up in the Paul McCart the Beatles days of Paul and John. So he's still trying to play the guitar, and now I'm here. I'm back. I got out of TV to come back and, you know, be able to see my parents more than a handful of times a year, which is the downside of TV news. And so I get to spend time with him for the first time in a long time.
Nice.
My kids would tell you that's overrated.
Yeah.
That'll change.
Thank you for the laugh, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, well, listen. So we
So-
really appreciate you being on board. Go ahead, Kevin.
Oh, volunteers for Saturday.
Yeah.
It is important. So in the previous years, I hung out on the Fisher Avenue right by the elementary school entrance because I could kind of spot the politicians and just usher them right into the elementary school. We need someone like that again this year to do that.
Yeah, I should be fine with that. And I know who they are too. So I'll do that. And I'll be, you know, obviously be there early, and because there will be early birds coming.
Yep.
You know, so we'll plan on, you know, 7:30 posted out front and trying to wave them in there. And then I'll come inside, do what we got to do inside.
Perfect.
But plan on that. I'm definitely going to be there.
Okay.
And then Foundry, again, you're going to run the greeting table, and then everybody mingling, chatting, schmoozing, etc. All of us are set up for that. Do we have, you know, I meant to ask, we don't have any fair access badges, do we? We
Just
should
the
think about,
t-shirts. Yeah. We have the
we should think about
t-shirts, the
wearing badges.
polos.
I mean, everybody can wear a fair access t-shirt if they want to, but you know, it's hard to tell the committee from the supporters. And I think if we did have, why don't you let me look into that and Laura, we'll talk offline on that, but we should probably have something. Because
Okay.
That's a good idea, Jim. I like that idea.
Yeah. People want to know, you know, not just like they know Ed and I for the most part, but we, you know, the rest of you guys, and they know you by your face. We should have that on there. So let's do that. So Laura, I know this got you have an avenue for that. Let's just talk offline and get ourselves set up with that.
Okay.
All right, very good. So then we have the mingling situation. Then I've been looking at the details, but it looks like Link will be running the show, which is awesome. And we'll have our slideshow set up and working on. And then Laura, I think I told you that one of my artists is working on some of the graphics for the slideshow, just trying to spruce up what Link put together. And then the video is, what's the status of the video?
So we are going to be getting you a draft soon. Michael and I have been just polishing the first internal draft. So we'll get that over to you, do you think, in the next day or two, Michael? What are you thinking?
Well, I think one of the things we were waiting on was to get a firmer idea of who was going to win this county executive election.
Mhm.
Because we wanted to make sure it was Elrich, and we do have sound bites from him. And
Good.
I did see that he claimed victory just today. So now we can polish off and refine the last couple of sound bites, including his, obviously, and put those in there. We already have a 3-minute and 9-second first cut that Laura has seen and liked most of it. So a small handful of new sound bites and fresh B-roll is just to refine a second cut, and I'll submit that to her tomorrow morning, and then we'll move out from there. I do know, and this was in some of the documents that I was reading before this meeting, as there was a note about photos of what the finished product at PHS will look like. If I read that correctly. So there are some visual elements that I'm sure will continuously get mixed in to continue to enrich, how it looks. But yes, we're well ahead on that, getting that second cut in and moved along.
Do we have the renderings, Jim? I don't know that we have the PHS renderings digitally, which is
The only thing that I've seen that I remember I mean, first of all, we can get them. That's
Okay.
the answer.
Okay.
But we've had that video tour that's still available online that shows that maybe we incorporate that, the moving pictures for that video. In fact, thanks, Kevin. See if that's still available.
Yeah. So
There it
here,
is.
I'll send this link. I'm going to put this link in the chat. It has, you can see the files and the video. This is the, the fly around virtually. So I'll put this in the chat, this link, and that's where you can get all that stuff.
Yeah, this is
Well, we would need the permission from MCPS to use their imagery. So maybe we'll reach out and do that,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, thanks for
probably.
helping with that.
Probably just include the link and send it. I don't even know if Seth is the person that can give that approval or not. I don't know why they couldn't.
Yeah, they never gave us permission to take any imagery in the actual school, but we understand maybe that was for a different reason, right?
See, right there is where the community center is going to be.
Yeah, right here. This block.
The other side.
Oh, this right here.
Yeah, and closer to the building to the right.
Yeah,
up top there.
Right.
Anyway.
Hey, Jim, one of the couple other things too, and Laura, with this video here, even this little clip is out here in public domain. I mean, it's so that's just to take in consideration.
Yeah, it's on YouTube,
right? But the other things that we have too, and Jeff Eck, he's watching. He's texting me. He wanted to remind us that we have some video footage from MML. That's something maybe Jeff can send that to you. You guys could look at it and see, hey, is there something that you could take from there that fits into the whole theme? Then Jeff said he's willing to help out as well. He'll be doing a lot of stuff with EMT, but also with he's willing to pitch in and help. The other thing too, I was thinking, I know you probably got some good video footage on the day of the dedication. And so I'm sure you guys are probably looking at how to splice some of that in. And what I was thinking about is, if I don't know if we were able to capture some of those commitments and promises that people made, but those are valuable sound bites. So as we continue to push for the for securing the gym, and those who've made those verbal promises, commitments, is great to be able to even have that on video to remind them in case they forgot.
Well, that's Albert Oz, Jawando, Mark Elrich, of course, Andrew, and I mean they all stepped up and said it. So maybe those.
I'm also Jim. I'm also thinking about some of the folks too and from the board. All right, if we have anyone from the board, and even if there were comments that were made during, Laura, do we get copies of those who spoke at the dedication?
Yeah, we videotaped everybody. We videotaped everybody. Are you looking for us to share? We can share the link with you if you want.
Yeah, I'd like to look at it because what happens when we roll back to make some comments, we could include some of those comments. And
yeah, for sure. We pulled out a couple already, but yeah, I mean, if you want us to change them out based on the first cut that we get you in the next day or so.
That'll be fine. Just do that. And then we'll know if you send the link for all of them, but then just have your cut be your cut.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I agree with that. I think just for us and those of us who will be working the room, having that refresher of comments that were made. And for example, so you look at folks on the MCPS side, folks on the county council side, who might have made some nice remarks. It'd be good to say, hey, I really appreciate it. The other day when you said blah, 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 blah. And so how do we make sure we make that happen? Some of that kind of thing.
Are you not so thinly alluding to, hey, you listen to what he said, and then Board of Education, hear what the county executive said, and vice versa.
Jim, we're bridges of facilitation to bring folks together to get things done.
A little arm twisting on top of it too.
There it is.
Yeah, good. That sounds great. So what we're going to leave it at is that you guys are going to stick with your first cut And then you can still give us a link on the I guess all of it. We can see the link for all of it. But I'm with you. I trust that you guys are going to come up with something good. And if we feel like we got to put something in there, we can slide
Right,
it
thank
in.
you.
Great. That's great commentary, you guys. Great thoughts. Anything else? Anything else on that? We'll at least have one more meeting, if not two, prior to Poolsville Day. So we'll still have a chance to hone this, but this looks good. All right, very good. Well, anything else then on that for, oh yeah, so I'm sorry. As is typical Poolsville, one of commissioner meetings, I always try to get to the bottom quickly. So I'll work my way back up here. So we know what we're going to do. Lincoln's going to give us, we'll hone up the presentations for the breakfast. But safe to say, it's not going to be too much talking. It's going to be a slideshow, a video, a few presentations, and then turn the guys loose on Poolsville Day. The schmoozing beforehand and the schmoozing afterwards, just like last year and the year before, or what was it, 3 years ago, those were just the critical moments. And as you guys know that have attended like the Montgomery Municipal Breakfast, right, Laura, it's all about the schmooze, period. So.
And then just, we do want to get everyone's input on those lists. We're going to be sending out the Evite to the VIP breakfast next Monday. So we just need feedback to make sure we have the updated list, updated contact information for the school parent reps. Thank you, Maria, for looking at those. Kevin, if you have any input, we just want those to be obviously updated.
Inclusive.
So
yeah, good. That's fine. Yeah. So you guys, we'll all look at it. If you have commentary, Laura's the one assembling the list, so we'll get it together. But thanks for that, Maria. Thanks for reviewing it. Ed, you guys know the school people as much as anybody, Kevin. So thank you. Okay, very good. So responsibility matrix, we've already talked about the champion for Western County, which was a great idea. And kudos to Link for thinking about, what better way to make sure that we get the absolute most important people to come to Poolsville Days to give them an award. And it just so happens that they actually deserve it. So this is an exciting time for us to be able to do this presentation. And, Andrew's obviously the key winner for it for this year. Maybe it'll be Elbridge next year when he follows up and delivers on some more of the stuff he's talking about. But Laura and I are going to meet offline to talk a little bit more about the format. And Laura, I'm very familiar with Gladiator Trophy. I do a lot of stuff with those guys. So I kind of picture it being a little more substantive than what Link initially proposed.
Okay.
And so I'll get with you on that. And I left a message for Paul today to talk to him a little bit more about what I think we can look for. Like, I think we can look for something that's pretty classy, but still has a wood base to it that, somebody's not just going to shove in a corner somewhere, which is typically what the politicians do with these things. So
great.
Anyway, I'll get with you on that, and we'll get with Paul and see what's possible. We have time, but before you know it, it'll be here.
Yeah.
And you guys did Link vet out the copy for the award? We kicked it around a couple of times. I didn't know if the whole group was in on that one or not. Thanks for putting that out there.
Is it one of the, check these links here?
Yeah.
I don't know that the copy's in that champion file. I can send it around after this, but it does include all the committee members' names on the bottom. So Jim, if you think that latest draft is pretty solid, I don't know if we decided on the shorter or the longer version. So we can issue both to the committee.
Yeah, do that. Send the latest long one. Everybody know that we're probably going to be cutting down the size just a little bit, and then we're trying to come up with something like a unique award that said won't just get stuck in a closet or handed off to an assistant somewhere. And we'll vet. I know that we'll be able to get a prototype so that people can kind of see it. The committee can see it and give some feedback on it. But it needs to be classy and something I don't want just something that looks like you just hang a plaque up on the wall, because it won't happen.
Yep.
So anyway, so yeah, I think we're unanimous. We voted on this about Andrew being our first champion for the Western County, which is amazing, and nobody more deserving, and just sad that we're not gonna be able to give him too many more awards because some other district will be giving them their awards instead. But it is what it is. So
I'm sure
anything else
Marilyn
what's that?
I'm sure Marilyn will do a good job.
Hey, I am too. We're looking forward to her, filling some big shoes and being what she needs to be for us. So that's very exciting. Anybody else on the Poolsville Day breakfast, what we're doing, Jim from Western County? We got a lot of stuff in progress, but it looks like we're in good
Yeah, hey
shape.
Jim, just one thing too. Jeff Eck was asking about can we invite the chief, the fire chief?
Absolutely.
And I think that'd be a good move as well.
Don't get me started.
All right. So
Yeah,
anyway,
no,
keep
definitely.
it.
We want him to come because that's a big day, and I would be one of the first ones to call him out and say thank him for being there and thank him for all the organization that he's done for everything he does.
I think, yeah. And so what we'll do is, I know Jeff is watching. Jeff can send the information over to Laura, and then we'll make sure he's included.
Yeah, Jeff, thanks for listening on that. We appreciate it. And if you can, please give us all the chief's contact information so that we make sure he gets the appropriate recognition. And he plays a big role in Poolsville between Poolsville Day and obviously the fireworks. So and
Santa.
And Santa. Oh yeah, I was purposely not bringing that up, Ed. You know that. You guys will tell that story later. Okay, very good. Yeah, he's the right person. So that's good. Thank you, Jeff. All right, guys. And if anybody else has additions to the list will be vetted out. It is supposed to be all inclusive. We want to make sure that we hit the right people and the people that we think deserve, there's sleepers that come through that we have to make sure that those guys, we tell them we want them and we make them feel like they belong with us.
I think add Greg Wims to that list too.
Oh, he has to be on it. He's
I
not.
think he's already on the list.
Okay,
Yeah,
he's
Greg
been a
has
big
on it.
big
Great. Greg's
okay.
been great. Okay,
All
guys, and we're moving on to the key objectives. You saw what Kevin, you could post the rewrite. So Link and I put our heads together and decided to come up with white paper round 2.
I don't see
And
that.
vision
Vision statement.
Yeah, that's it. Yep, that's it. So this is a draft that we've kicked around several times so far, and that'll be a 2022 vision statements as opposed to 2021. And just go through that, everybody, if you haven't already, and give us some feedback, notes, commentary, anything you think that we're missing, anything that you think that we've got a little too much coverage on. Link tends to be wordy, but he's really kind of hit this. And just like Kevin's planning commission has they're working on a comprehensive plan, we get to redo our comprehensive plan, Fair Access does, at our own pace. So this new comprehensive plan / our marching orders is going to be our template for the things we're working on. And, who would have thought that, when we created Fair Access, that we'd ever have to be dealing with White's Ferry. So we know it's a living document. Things are going to change.
Can we should we add a bullet? We have community center, pool, transportation. You could
love it. That's the feedback we're looking for, Kevin.
So
I got it here.
Yeah, the ferry, not only the ferry, but one day my pipe dream will be to have the intersection of 28 and 107, the fork.
Have it done.
Safer.
What do you want to have done to it?
Be safer. I'm always afraid someone's going to plow into me as I'm turning left to go home.
Did you say a traffic circle? Is that what you said? Okay.
I would love a traffic
buddy.
circle.
It's happening.
No. 28 Dawsonville.
I know. That's what I said. We'll put a traffic circle down there. We'll
Yeah.
get it done.
Yeah.
Hey Kevin, scroll up a little bit.
Yeah.
See.
Kevin, good point.
Tell me when to stop scrolling.
No, that's good. I was looking at, so there's 3 key points that we put in there, because I'm wondering if we were to add something, if we added either the transportation or if we added looking at economic development and being able to tie the ferry that way. I'm thinking more economic development as an issue, and
So
you look at what affects that.
I think there's 3 things. You need facilities, right? Like these things.
Yeah. Yep.
We always need transportation, either i.e. the ride on bus. We got to make sure that stays.
Or gets enhanced.
But that could easily become a chopping block item that we have to be aware of. And Yeah, we should have economic development as a,
So do you want to make this, do you want to have change the breakdown a little bit? Just the three main headers would be facilities, transportation, and economic development?
and maybe a fourth would be, I don't know if this is the right term, but quality of life / wellness.
Something community, right? So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's like where you're going with it. It's what we're really talking about is community well-being. And so
Yes.
what makes it what so we had maybe one of those things, Jim, is in team community well-being, and that creates, that some of these other things, community center, the pool, all these other things fit. And when we think about transportation and economic development, I'm thinking about the facility. What is it called, Jim? Grapevine or Crossvine?
Crossvines.
crossvines.
So I think about, and once that comes to full fruition, how important that ferry will be, given the draw that's anticipated with a completed Crossvine,
Yeah, it'll help with the vitality of it too.
right? Because because that's a state-of-the-art facility needs to have traffic coming from all directions, and coming across the ferry is really important. And the more I'm saying that, not to take us down the rabbit hole too far, but you talked about county executive in the advocacy work for White's Ferry. Well, we know Crossvines is a reality, in order to meet all the things that was said at the at the groundbreaking. And I think about just that transportation coming through. How you build something like Crossvines, how do you pull other people over? So.
Yeah,
Just food
no,
for
I get
thought.
it. Plays into the hub and spoke too. So
Yeah, that's right. One of them spokes.
Yeah.
So Jim, my only point is, instead of having these bullets be project specific, change the bullets to be something that we'll have each year. We're always going to have a transportation item. We're always going to have a facility item, and we're always going to have
Community
economic
well-being.
Community
and
well-being.
Community well-being. Yeah.
and then we have these bullet points under those headers.
Yeah, I think I agree with you.
Yeah, it's good. Listen, you will give something link to type his little fingers off with here, and that's going to be good. And I'll put this back together again, kind of reconstructed based on the conversation, and then get it to him, and then let's see what he comes up with on that. But I totally agree. I mean, it's a great idea. The mission is different now, but it's still a mission. So we have to kind of restructure it to, tailor to where we are these days. So it's good. Yeah, totally agree. Any other feedback like that, guys? I mean, that's really good stuff. That changes the narrative a little bit. So I like it.
Well, so when we're thinking about these target areas, also think beyond Poolsville. Let's expand our thinking into the Western Montgomery County, and how do we pull in benefits for the rest of the area that fair access would represents.
Yep.
So think about with those 4 areas we've outlined, how does that benefit, or what's needed to be beneficial to the areas outside of the town of Poolsville, because we're talking fair access. So just expanding.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I got it. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good call.
And when you think of economic development, just put in the back of your mind, Jim, when you talk to Link, and I'm happy to join you guys, is how do we expand tourism?
Oh yeah.
Tourism in Western Montgomery County, and what that looks like.
More drinking.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, more.
That's right. The water's good. The water's
That's right,
good.
right. I'm talking about water. Our water is great. Okay, that's
Regarding
really good
tourism,
stuff.
regarding tourism and up here, I can connect with Visit Montgomery regarding that.
Oh yeah.
I have a relationship with them.
Good.
So Jim, we actually had Kelly Groff come out and meet with Jim and Link. Maybe we haven't briefed the group because that was just a couple weeks back in July.
Yeah,
So
thank
we
you.
actually did meet with her and her right hand, who's their marketing director, to just start some conversations. So maybe we should, Jim and Link more formally brief the group, but it was an initial conversation, Maria, for background.
That's
Yeah.
great. I know Kelly well.
Oh, you do? Okay, good.
Yeah.
She's loved her energy. And it was said it was kind of an informal get together, but the energy and the idea exchange I thought was really good. And I think they have a lot to give us. Was that the walk away from you, Laura, on that they felt like there was a lot there that they could, we're gonna have to squeeze it, but I think there's stuff there for us.
Yeah, they're really looking to promote the agricultural reserve and maybe even pull some key historical areas into like a tour. So we're probably due to loop back with them. I think it was let's get through summer, but they are actually looking to brand the Ag Reserve as part of maybe a more formal marketing program this fall or next spring. So we're probably due to loop back with them, but probably, after August.
Well, why don't we do this? Let's, because I think it's important, maybe it's important that the whole group gets a chance to meet these guys. So maybe we schedule something up, but probably after Poolsville Day, let's get them under our belt and get with them. I don't think we'll waste it. That won't be, not too much time will lapse. We got our hands full for the next month and a half, but I thought that there was something there for us and that they kind of got it. And Maria, I know her, she kind of understands what our region's about. And part of the template, just for anybody that happens to be in a meeting with these guys at any one time, think about the template a little bit. We've had to shake off the image of, Poolsville is, should be the food hub. Or, you're in the middle of Ag Reserve. What a perfect place to do it. There's nothing wrong with that. But part of our Fair Access mission has been changing minds about what we have to offer up here. And not just, all the hub and spoke, but all the components of living up in this area and how Poolsville provides the leadership for that. And so does, and Fair Access does now too. So I thought part of our meeting with those guys the other day, Laura, was, it's always the starting point is how do we get, why don't we do something food-based in Poolsville? And we want them to, I want to change that. Let's make it food and drink based. Let's make it other tourism based. Let's try, as you said, let's talk about a trail. Let's talk about a day tour where you hit certain spots. That's the kind of thinking that I'm hoping we can get out of those guys.
Christine Ray, she gave a tour for the Smithsonian of Western Montgomery County. She had 2 busloads of people.
Amazing. I didn't know that. When did she do that?
This was in June or July.
Huh.
So they boarded at the Smithsonian in Washington, the bus, had a full busload, and she met them, I think, at Riley's Lock, and then she took them to John Poole House, Seneca Schoolhouse, White's Ferry, just various. I'll have to connect with her and ask her more about that.
That's cool. Yeah, good. Yeah, she knows what she's doing. So I'm glad she was able to do that. That's awesome. It would have been nice to meet up with him. Just like would have been nice to meet up with Hogan while he was here, but that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
So she's a player. I think she definitely knows and stays involved. And actually, Fair Access, I know we've gotten good support from her too. So all right, we got these assets out here, like the 2 assets that Laura hired from Poolsville, right?
Yeah.
Laura? Awesome. And Mr. Gordon's going to be an honorary Poolsville guy with the amount of time he's going to spend up here. So that's awesome too.
That's right.
Good.
Well, I was thinking about McKee Brescher just today, actually.
That's what they talked about.
And I don't understand our businesses or our town. We need to figure out a way to get some signage down there to point people to Poolsville.
It is hard to. It is not easy to find, even for me. It's your. Yeah. You could layer in some light development just outside of the fields.
You mean, signage?
Signage. Well, yeah, signage. Definitely.
Like, hey, you're only 4 miles from Locals and Bassett's and all these great restaurants.
Yeah.
While you're
That's a
checking out the
good
sun-
idea.
While you're checking out the sunflowers, come up Hughes Road for a few minutes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and we've always talked about, and I'm not sure how this will tie in, but it's something we could all keep in mind and noodle it and figure out how to make it work. You know, obviously we finally got it together with Kaleva and kind of co-opt with them informally over the last few years. But McKees Besher is like a happy situation waiting to happen in terms
Yeah.
of a talent promotion device in our name.
Yep.
So yeah, no, I agree. And that they talked about this in our mini meeting. So but what we need to do is maybe we can develop like a what in terms of meeting with tourism is develop like a rounded scope of what they think they can help us with and what we think we need.
Yeah.
And somehow incorporate that in. So
Yeah.
because that's one of them. I mean, you know, Kaleva is one of them. Said the Haunted Forest, you know, McKees Besher, you know, what there should be one day it should be a hike Sugarloaf. You know, those are all things that we can co-op into and turn into spokes as far as we're concerned. And I think that fair access gets to play a role in that because it really is outside the town of Poolesville's
Yeah.
perfect. So we'll just use our taxpayers' money to do it. It'll be good.
There you go.
So, all right. Very good points, everybody. I'll summarize all this and get it out to everybody.
After we close, can I have 2 minutes with you and Laura?
Yeah. You're not quitting, are you?
No. About
All right.
Poolsville Day.
You're not quitting Poolsville Day, are you?
No. I want.
All right. Let's not spread the rumors.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving.
Ed's got to cut it off. All right, guys. Anything else for this meeting? Good stuff. Everybody very happy. All right. Give me someone if you can give me. Michael, do you have anything else? Did you wave?
No, it's nice. Very happy to meet you all.
Great
Hey,
having
Michael,
you here.
welcome.
Happy
Yeah,
to be
welcome
here.
aboard, man. Yeah, great hire, Laura. Way to go.
Nah.